I am not recording. Okay, there we go. It's all
Oh
fixed now.
no.
Uh-oh.
It's
I
fine. It's fine. It's
Also, the dragon has to
Oh.
go.
it's fine now. It's fine. Nope. Wait. Still not. Fine.
Recording for all of our deaths.
Nope. No, it's fine. Okay. We're good. We're good. It's fine.
It's fine.
Let's see what they roll. For the queen herself. All right.
Oh.
For the black dragon mask. Ooh. Wow.
Oh, that's what did he roll? Oh, he rolled a 4.
Mm,
That's bad.
God.
That's funny.
Y'all nailed it so far. Okay, Otis, you said you moved out
Yeah.
on the way.
Yeah, is dog's with us, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this whole time I've just been like assuming that dog. I haven't seen his little token, but
Oh.
like he's there.
My bad. Boom, right there. Ignore
I thought he
the
died.
help bar.
No, I repaired him.
Oh, okay. It's like, wait.
Yeah, we
Okay.
repaired him.
Hold on.
Okay. So we're on top of the initiative round. Otis, you have step out of the side. You just seen Akora setting Komori down, and Komori looks like she's about to bolt. What do you do?
I think that I'm just gonna like very quickly talk because I don't. I, yeah. Um. All I can do is kind of like as I'm stepping out of the way, and notice Kamori is starting to bolt out of there. I'm just gonna say, Kamori, you don't have to keep running forever. And I'm gonna like outstretch my arms for like a hug. And as my bonus action, I would like for Dog to extend his arms in a hug type formation as well.
Okay. So you call out to Komori and you open up your arms, and Dog and his little teddy bear form extends out his arms for a hug as well. Okay, that'll be your
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah. And yeah, just to finish, I just say and reiterate, I'm here for you. And that that's my turn.
Okay. Romeo, what are you doing?
Okay. Oh god. Fuck. What do I do?
What do you do?
um. Uh, I'm gonna try to restrain Kamori. I'm gonna try to grab Kamori.
Okay. This will be a contested skill check. Komori, are you gonna try to dodge out of the way, or are you gonna try to brute force your way through?
Let me see. Oh, please load. Okay.
I'm not strong, so I don't think either one's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and brute force my way through.
Okay. Then I need both of y'all to roll me. This will technically be. Yeah. I need both of y'all to roll me athletic checks.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
The beat 11.
No,
Beat 11.
I'm not strong. I'm really not strong.
Romeo,
Hey, there's the man of the hour.
Romeo, you try to grapple, reach out to Komori and grapple her, but Komori just easily bats your hand away and fully turns her body to look like she's about to run. Anything else you want to try to do as a bonus action?
Uh, uh, no,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. Akor, it is your turn. You just set Komori down, and you see that she's about to bolt.
Well, I basically unwrap my arms from her because she's taller than me.
Oh, yeah,
As far as I remember.
that is true. Yeah.
So I'm basically going to try and get stance to look like I'm going to stop her, but at this point, I'm too scared of I'm too scared of both of these two, which is funny. So if she tries to get through me, I'm just going to let her. But I kind of want to make sure it seems like I was trying.
Okay. Then. Okay. Then with that, make me a deception check.
Oh boy, I don't think I'm good at that. I'm not.
Okay.
Well, my bluff failed.
Anything else you
So,
want
I
to
just-
do, or is that all?
With the bluff.
Echoes, welcome.
I was gonna say, Komori, you don't have to keep running. Please don't. We came here together, and I want us to leave together. And that'll be the end of mine.
Okay. Then we are over to the queen herself, who is just simply gonna look at Komori, and you hear Rasa goes, I hate it when they run, and pulls the trigger. I'm gonna assume that does hit.
Yeah.
Okay. As she pulls on the trigger, you see the gun begins glowing purple, and out of a very thin, very thin hole, a purple magical energy shoots out of the gun and rockets towards Komori. And Komori, you get hit with the spell as it hits your body, and she casts sleep on you. And well, these are really bad rolls for the sleep spell. But basically, is that enough to knock you out?
Yeah.
Okay.
More than.
Okay. So as you're about to bolt and run away, the spell hits you in the back, and you're suddenly hit with this exhaustion that goes all throughout your body, and your eyes fall unclosed as you are knock out, and you are sleeping now.
Or at least try to. If I can.
Do it.
I was gonna try and grab her when she fell over. If
Okay.
I can.
No, yeah. Komori turns around about to bolt, and you look over and you see Komori looks like she's fainting, and you catch her in your arms.
From that height, she could give herself a concussion.
God. Okay, this was just turn initiative order, so we're gonna end that. And you see, Komori, right now you are asleep, as you are knocked out unconscious due to the sleep spell. And you see Rasa looks at her gun and is looking at the barrel of the gun, and just not bad. Could be better, but still need to work out some kinks. She is fine. She's asleep, and she will remain asleep for this duration. I mainly put her to sleep so she can stop hurting herself. Because obviously, from the looks of it, we can't really trust her with that. Any complaints?
Shake my head.
Good. Come along. We'll see what we can do for her. Follow. And you see Rasa turns around and begins walking. And you see the black dragon mask wielder is just looking at every one. You see his mask and his dull eyes are just looking at everybody. And you hear him go, "Ooh, exciting. I was hoping Komori would try to fight Rasa. It's always a fascinating sight to watch her fight, but probably wouldn't last that long." Oh, well. Come along, my brothers and sisters. It's time to go. Let's go. And you see him turn around and begin walking. I'm assuming you all follow?
I'm gonna have Komori on my back.
Okay.
But yes, I will reluctantly follow.
Yeah. I'm cutting eyes at Romeo, like looking from like my backpack, like hoping that Romeo can kind of like read my mind with the pew pew.
Yeah, my fucking mic. I'm gonna hold it in front of my face. Okay, I am not looking at Otis at all. I'm not looking at anyone in the group. Just straight ahead.
Damn.
I can't tell if this is going better or worse than I thought it would. So,
Well, if we live and get out of here, then yes, it'll be good.
Alright. Then, as y'all begin walking, you see, you hear the queen not really turning around to face y'all, but just continuing leading the group to the elevator. And you hear her voice calls out and goes, "Human, walk next to me real fast." Now.
Yeah, I'm speed walking up. Like, I'm so teeny.
You walk over to the queen, and the queen is kind of tall, standing very close to 6 foot tall. And as she's walking, she still like has her eyes forward, and you hear her go, excuse me. You hear her go, "I'm gonna make you useful. You seem like more or less a scientist, an inventor. So, I'm gonna pick your mind real fast. Clearly state the symptoms of your pet over there. Of when she started being like this. Go."
Roughly a day and a half ago, we were on the way to another city to port so that we could try and get over here. And that's when one of our other members, Mrs. Mays, found this mask that's attached to her, currently attached to Komori, that is, and was trying to have a look at it. And the mask just kind of had its way amongst the two of them. It, if I'm correct in assuming so anyway, I believe it led Maze to have a bit of a fiery remark when we tried to take it off of her. So I'm thinking that this sort of will affect Komori in the same way in lashing out. And typically Komori, at least in the week that I've known them, is withdrawn and quiet. Observe. I've not known them to be this harsh, but I suppose that's what pain will do to someone.
And you see Rasa is nodding to a lot of things you're saying, and you see as y'all arrive to the door for the elevator, Rasa has her arms behind her back and looks over onto you, kind of just looking out of the corner of her eye at you, and you see that she's studying you, and then seems to look in your eye, and then seems to be checking out your body, and just hear her go, "A lot of pain can change a person." It is ironic, because I am a good example of that. A simple farmer girl having to be an empress to her people in times of pain. Your statements and facts and symptoms make sense. Conclusion: we need to get that mask off. Let's go. I know of a place that she can rest and recuperate. And when she wakes up, you are all gonna try to talk to her to convince her to let us, how to say, restore her to her form. Her normal form, whatever that may be. Because I try to make it a rule not to give experimental drugs to patients without their consent. She's not a lab rat. At least, not right now. But that remains to be seen. If she becomes hostile and tries to break out of the lab, she will be shot and she will be killed. Understand?
I do. And I don't know if it might help, but before I encountered Kamori and when I ran into the rest of the group, I met them in the temple of a rather powerful deity. It kind of counteracted some of their strengths with this potion that I created. I don't know if it'll help with Kamori in the mask in the situation, but if you allow me to take that out, I could hand it to you, and perhaps your scientist may find it useful.
As you say this, you hear a ding, and then the door slides open as all you step into the elevator. You see Rasa kind of raises one of her eyebrows and looks at you and goes, "You made a potion to counteract a god's power."
Well, some of the effects that they were causing on the town. I mean, I had help. So I can't say that I did it all by myself. I mean, but I mean it's effective in some sense.
Hmm. You may be more useful than I originally thought. For that, human, I will begrudgingly admit you do impress me. And the doors close as the elevator begins to move. And you see Ross. You see the Rasa just looking forward and looking at the door as it begins to move. Akora, you're still holding on to Komori, like as she piggyback on you. And
She's dead weight.
yeah, I got you. And it takes a split moment because you're trying to process everything that's been going on, and you're worried about your friends, and you're worried about trying to get out of here, and you're worried about Komori. So it takes you a second, but you turn your head because you feel someone staring at you, and you look over, and you see the black dragon mask wielder has their head, like they're standing like a good 3 feet away from you, and like shoulder to shoulder, and their head is fully turned towards you. And they seem to just be staring right at you.
What, at me?
Yeah, you.
I'm gonna stare right back at them. I'm gonna give him a hard stare.
As you stare into your eyes and you stare into the mask eye socket, you see, you hear him go, "Ooh, you're feisty. I like it."
So I've been told.
Valerian knows how to pick 'em. We should commune. I'm sure Valerian would love to see one of his dragon soul brethren.
I haven't been able to hear him since we got here.
Yes, one of the side effects of teleportation using this kingdom's technology. Like I said before, it should wear off. But I think what Rasa wants to do to Komori is try to use an experimental drug that's, in theory, supposed to separate all the different souls and revert y'all back to your original forms. Supposedly. So, if you want, you could test it yourself and see how it goes. And that should allow you to speak with Valerian again.
We shall see.
Quite.
I don't trust this man in the slightest.
Okay. As the elevator goes down and you feel it move. Komori, as you are forced into slumber and you're drifting off into the vast nothingness, you suddenly feel your lungs are getting filled with a thick, like a thick substance, like very, very thick water. And you immediately open your eyes and you sit up and breaching the surface of the water, and you begin coughing up mouthfuls of what looks to be swampy water. And you're looking around, and you take notice that you are in Adadul's realm. As you're looking around, and you're seeing the swamp trees are bent and some of them are snapped, and you're seeing before the Ardu's realm was just consisting of a very, very foggy and dark swamp. But now it looks like there's random red, like thick red magical energies just kind of sweeping around the realm, and you're seeing. It takes you a second, but you see one dark red steel chain that seems to be getting dripped off to the distance. What do you do?
I am gonna investigate the chain.
Okay. You follow after the chain and begin following after it, and as it seems to swirl, and one thing you notice, it doesn't seem to be touching the ground or the water at all. It seems to be floating up, even though it's not taut at all. Like there's some slack to it, so it just seems to be floating there. And as you're following it, it leads you deeper and deeper into the swamp, and then it starts going up. Like the giant chain is going up, up to the sky. And as you follow the chain, you then see hovering in the sky a long serpent-like creature. It's suspended in the air, wrapped up in giant dark gray chains all around their body. And you also see dark red magical chains are seemingly wrapped around their limbs and wrapped tightly around their mouth. And this is the first time you see the full length of what you assume Aradu, who is suspended there and not moving at all.
I'm gonna try and pull on the chains.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, okay. You go over to the chain, and as soon as you touch it, you are immediately hit with a sudden vision that just fills your psyche, and you like lurch back as now all you're seeing is what looks to be Jesus. Careful, Mel.
What? What did I do?
I don't know what it is. I think it's a guitar or what not, but we're hearing some feedback.
Oh, god damn it. I really need to.
You're good, you're good. Gamora, you're suddenly hit with what looks to be... You seem to be on in a forest. Just a random large forest. And you're looking around, and you then... as you're looking around, you suddenly turn, and suddenly the scene shifts into the forest has been trampled. Like, it hasn't been cut down. It's like something knocked the giant trees over, and you're seeing fire and blood everywhere, and you're also seeing bodies and corpses all over the forest floor, and you're looking around, and you can hear fighting going on in the distance. Heavy fighting, brutal fighting, screaming from all combatants. And you turn around again, and the scene shifted one more time, and you see what looks to be two humanoid figures are locked into a very brutal battle. They seem to be standing on mountains of corpses as they're fighting back and forth. Each clash with their sword seemed to send ripples out, not just through the air, but it seemed to ripple through reality itself. Like you can just see it ripple through space. And as they keep fighting and clashing forward, you're trying to study these two figures. You're seeing one in brilliant golden armor that's covering them head to toe, and you're seeing white angelic wings sprouting on their back, and you see one is the one in the golden armor is wielding a sword, and in the other hand is wielding what looks to be a hammer. And you see he's fighting with both against the other individual who looks to be in pure dark red armor that's covering on their body, and instead of angelic wings, you see what looks to be wings made out of the dark red energy, and you see the dark red energy seem to be seeping into the corpses around him as they're standing on these corpses, and they keep fighting back and forth. And with one clash, the ripples seem to shoot out towards you, and you blink once, and you are back to Anadu's realm. And you see that you got launched backwards away from the chain and fall back on your butt into the swamp water as you're just shocked on what you just saw.
Yeah, Kawari's probably just gonna sit there for a bit, just processing and trying not to bolt.
As you're sitting there and you're just processing on what you just saw, you then hear a voice seems to echo through the trees. And you hear, well, someone's looking through some forbidden knowledge. Ooh, naughty, naughty. And you see, the chain seems to be emitting a dark red magical energy that seems to be seeping out and begins forming into a mass in front of you. And the dark red magical energy seems to doesn't solidify, it just seems to be looks like it's made of dark red smoke and gas. And you see it seems to come into a shape of a humanoid, and you see glowing yellow eyes in where the head is, just looking at you. And you hear the voice go, "Ooh, poor Komori. No memories on who you are. No memories on what you are. Always scared. Always frightened of the unknown. Oh, Komori, it's fine. Trust me. Ooh, I'm glad you put my body on. Because, Komori, I can help you. I can help you wonderfully, Komori." And you see the humanoid mist figure begins getting closer to you. And you hear him go, "Komori, your mind has many doors that are locked right now. But what if I can tell you, and you see he holds out his hand, and you see the dark red magical energy that makes his body begins to come out of his hand and forms what looks to be a symbol of a key. Like, not really a complex key, just what looks to be a stereotypical symbol of a key. And you hear him go, "I can unlock these doors. I can make you whole once again. You can know who you are. You can know who put you here. And most importantly, you know who you have to murder."
She's gonna start standing to her feet while just straight dead face staring at whatever this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna go, "Unfortunately for you, I don't care who I was."
You see he kind of leans back a little bit and closes his hand, and the key disappears. And you hear him go, Very respectable, Komori. I see I'll have to work a bit on you. And you see he begins floating back towards the chain. And you see he places one of his hands on the chain and goes, Komori, I don't have that much time to talk. But if you ever want to see more forbidden knowledge, more forbidden truth, I would be more than happy to show. You just gotta touch this chain and let me show you. Because I show the truth. I show the true history. I show the true past. And if you let me, I can show you the true future. Because everybody, in every sense of the form, every creature, every animal, monsters, humanoids, deity, demons, devils, they always do the one thing that I created. They always kill. They always murder. Sure, they can justify it all they want. But murder is murder. You've done your fair share. In the name of survival. True. But you still took a life. So whether you like it or not, I'm always gonna be a part of you. Even if you take my body off, I will still be in your head, whispering, trying to convince you to kill more. Komori, one day I will approach you once again and ask you to be my herald. And together, we can show the true future to this world. And you see he puts his hand fully on the chain, and you see the dark red magical energy begin to seep into the chain, and you just hear him cackle and laugh as the dark red humanoid figure seems to disappear into the chain as his laugh echoes through the forest. And suddenly the void takes you once again. What are your final thoughts as the void begins taking you away?
Mostly that they do not trust whatever that was within 10 miles of them and their head.
Darn. Okay. As you drift off into the void, still asleep, we go back to the group. The elevator arrives with a ding, and the door once again open, and you're once again brought into this large white lab, and you see many of the tiefling workers who are working on their own projects. They all look over and they see the queen, and they immediately stop what they're doing and turn to her and give a bow towards the queen. The queen looks at the tieflings and gives them a warm smile, and looks at one of them and goes, I need to speak to Eric. He's the one in charge of the orb project, isn't he? And you see one of the tieflings go, as you wish, my queen. I'll go get him. And begins running off. And you see she looks back at y'all by turning her head and goes, keep up and don't touch anything. And begins leading y'all forward. And as she leads y'all forward, you see Otis. You can't help but just look around and see the lab. You're seeing all these kinds of machinery. You're seeing all these kinds of items. You're seeing both magic and technology are just on display around, and you're hearing all sorts of conversation. You're hearing conversation about different kinds of potions, conversation about different kinds of weapons, conversation about different kinds of armor, shield, wand, staff, food, agriculture. Just conversation about almost every single topic that can be influenced by both magic and technology. And you can't help but just get lost in the science and all the terminology that's being thrown out. And you snap back to reality as you see Rasa had led the group to a door and opens the door and motions for everybody to get in. And as all y'all enter the door, you see that the room is a large, white, empty room that only has what looks to be a small bed, like a single person bed, in the center of the room. Pressed up against the wall in the center of the wall. And you're seeing what looks to be beakers on like a nightstand next to it. You see what looks to be many different types of devices that you can't quite understand what they do. And you see Rasa points at the bed and goes, Amber Eye, put Komori down on the bed. Muted, so I'm assuming you said, okay. Alright. So, Gora, you bring Komori over to the bed and set Komori down. And you see Rasa looks over Komori and begins looking her over and looking at the rags that she calls clothes and looking at her arm and looking at her face and just goes, I'm assuming when y'all picked her up, y'all didn't have time to get her proper clothing, did y'all?
She didn't seem interested.
Fair. More power to her, I guess. Let her rest for right now. It would be smart to at least have one of y'all stay here to watch over her, because I'm going to have 2 guards in here to keep an eye on her. And I'd rather not it just be her and my 2 guards.
I think since I'm the strongest, I could stay behind. Out of our group, I mean.
Okay. Well, with that option, either everyone can stay here and wait for her to wake up, or Cora, who volunteered, can stay here and watch, keep her company, while you two, looking at Otis and Romeo, come with me to see the dragon orb item.
I just realized neither of them have any fucking information
Yeah, we
on
don't
the
know
orb
anything.
whatsoever.
Otis knows
Yeah.
like a tiny bit. And Romeo does.
Akora, you might want to come, since you are the one with the most knowledge on that particular field, you and I at least.
Oh, right.
Unless, Romeo, you're not comfortable going and staying here by yourself.
I'll stay. Fine.
And I really doubt that they want to let their eyes off of me for too long.
You see, Rasa looks over at you, Romeo, and goes, "Remember, I will have 2 guards in the room with you. If she shows aggression towards you or towards my guards, she will be shot again. And this time, they're not equipped with the sleep spell. So, do your best to calm her down when she wakes up."
Of course, I will do my best.
"Take care and be brave, my daughter." And you see she leans down, kisses you on the forehead, and cups your cheek and goes, "And I do apologize for putting you in that situation earlier. I was upset, and I may have been too rash and too harsh with my decree against you. I apologize. It is my mistake to own up to. I can only ask for your forgiveness, Romeo."
Thank you, Your Highness. There's nothing to apologize for.
"Thank you, dear daughter. Who knows? Maybe since you're in town, we can go and see the show again. Or we can go see your old stomping grounds and you can see how they're doing without you."
Honestly, feels like it's been ages since I've been here.
Traveling will do that to you, Romeo. Be safe. And you see she turns and begins walking to the door, and you hear her go, "Human, Amber Eye, come."
I'm instinctively reaching for a Cora's hand.
The silence means he takes it.
You better.
Mm-hmm. So, as y'all hand in hand follow after Rasa, you are, as y'all head out the door, you see the black dragon mass humanoid is walking to the door. But before leaving, turns, looks at you, Romeo, and then looks at Komori. And then you hear Romeo, you're the only one that hears this as he goes, "Ah, poor Adadu, wanting to break out of the chains no matter what. I would be careful, though. Adadu is not known for, how you say, friendship, bonding, correctly at least. So if she wakes up and this Komori is actually Adadu, fair warning, dear Romeo, she might gobble you up. And trust me, I have seen her wielders gobbled people much bigger than them. So for this Komori person, you would just be a snack for her. Have fun!" And you see he leaves out the door. Romeo, I'll just ask, what's your response to all that?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna pull my sword out and just have it the whole time. Just hold it.
Okay. A minute later, you see 2 Warforged guards walk into the room and are standing by the door on either side. They look over to you, Romeo, and give you a short nod before begin stationing. With the other two, Otis and Agor, y'all are being led down the hall, and as y'all are passing by what looks to be cornered off areas of what looks to be different experiments and different weaponry, you then come to what looks to be a wall, and you see Rasa just looks at the wall and then reaches over and seems to press a button that seems to be built into the wall. And as she presses the button, the whole wall suddenly becomes transparent. And on the other side of the wall, you see what looks to be oh, okay. I see. Seth said that he'll be right back real fast. So since it's just y'all two, just a little pause. Ooh, okay. I got it. I can go talk to this. Let me just pull up this notes while we wait. Maze.
Oh. Me.
Picked out of the podcast.
Special guest.
As you are unconscious, you open up your eyes and you just see nothing. Pure nothing. You aren't floating. You appear to be on something solid, but as you look down, you just see nothing. Pure blackness. No light. You look at your hands. You can't even see your hands, but you know that they're there. Like, it just seems like someone turned off the lights. And you're feeling your body, just trying to make sure everything is there and accounted for. But one thing you take notice is you don't have your gauntlet, nor do you have the ring. And as you're looking around, or you're trying to look around, it feels like as you're looking and trying to spot whatever, I'll ask, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to speak. Hello?
You feel yourself trying to speak, and you feel your body vibrate as you normally do when you speak. But as you're trying to project, nothing comes out, and you're trying to speak more, but just nothing. No words, no sound. It feels like there is nothing to reverberate your voice. And as you're standing there in darkness, a minute goes by, still nothing. More minutes go by, still nothing. You feel the process of you walking, like you feel your body as walking and moving, but you don't hear your footsteps. You don't hear your breathing. You don't hear anything. And you still don't see anything. And you keep walking, and you're looking around, just trying to find something. More time goes by. It feels like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. More hours goes by with you just in this nothingness. And you're just trying to figure out what's going on. You don't feel the need to sleep. You don't feel the need to get hungry. At this point, it's only your body's routine that you lay on the weird solid nothingness, and you lay down and you try to go to sleep, but you just can't. You don't feel tired. You don't feel low on energy. You just feel like you can keep going. And after 24 hours, you do. Keep walking. Nothing. More time passes. You try to call out. No sound. You try to make noises. Try to scream. Try to cast your magic. Nothing. Days go by. Weeks go by. No sleep. No food. No hunger. Nothing. You keep walking. There are days where you refuse to walk and you just sit there and you're just looking around and you're trying. Still nothing. More time passes. You continue your walk. Nothing. You feel more days go by, and then more months go by of you just in nothing. And then it was one day where you were just sitting and you were just trying to get your mind working, trying to do your best not to go insane. And it sounds like the loudest noise you've ever heard echoes through this nothingness. And you immediately look over and you see a tiny flame has been lit, illuminating this nothingness. It's the tiniest of flame that is, to you, it sounds like a torrent of fire, just loud and unnerving. Over the months of just nothing, of silence, you have grown used to the silence. So this tiny flame that just suddenly emits is deafening to your ears. What do you do?
Move. Is it far? Feel far?
It seems to be far.
I think I'll go towards it.
Okay. You begin walking on towards it, and you realize it's a very far distance away. It's the only thing you can see. But you keep walking towards it. Hours go by. Keep walking. You finally have a goal. So you keep walking. Days go by. You still see it, and it seems to be getting closer. So you keep walking. And you keep walking. More walking. More days. More months. And as you get closer and closer, you then see this tiny flame is now starting to get closer and closer to you. And it's at this point that you see yourself now. You can see your hands, you can see your body, you can see your clothes. And as you're walking towards, getting closer and closer to the light, you're starting to hear these weird tapping noise. This dunk, 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 dunk. You can't quite figure out what it is. But then like an old memory hits you. It's your feet. Your steps. They're making noise. And you look down and begin moving your feet back and forth, and you realize your feet are now making noise. What are your response? What is your response to this?
My feet are making noise.
Mm-hmm. After months possibly a year of nothing.
Not. And this is as I get closer to the flame, right? Like not from touching it or anything.
Correct. As you're getting closer to the flame.
I think I'd start moving faster towards it. Probably. I think I would chase that feeling.
Okay. As you begin chasing it, getting closer and closer, you're hearing the sound of your footsteps, as you're running faster and faster towards the flame. As you get closer and closer towards the flame, you're starting to hear another sound. And it takes you a second, but you can hear yourself panting. You hear yourself breathing. You hear yourself blinking. You hear your heart beat as you get closer and closer to this flame. And after what seems to be a joyous day of you hearing something, of you seeing something, you finally arrive to the small little flame. But once you arrive to the small little flame, it has grown. It seems to be a mountain of flames. And you're staring up at it as it's towering over you. And you hear another sound. You hear what sounds like bones rattling. It sounds like something is being dragged across the ground. And you're looking around, and you're trying to find the source of the noise. And then you hear the sound of footsteps. And at first you look down to thinking it's yours, but you're not making these sounds. You're not moving your feet. And it hits you. Someone else is here. After months of isolation, nearly a year of isolation, someone else is here. And you're looking around frantically. You're trying to find it. And you narrow down where the noise is coming from. It's coming from the other side of the flame. What do you do?
Reach my hand into it.
Okay. You reach your hand into the flame, and as you touch the flame, suddenly the flame seems to erupt in a massive explosion. Just shoots out everywhere. And as you're standing in this nothingness, suddenly as the flame washes over you and over the nothingness, you suddenly see more flames are scattered all around you. Some seem close, some seems very, very far away. And you're looking around and you're seeing all these flames around you. These tiny little flames all around. And you see that they begin to shrink and condense. And as you're looking around, it takes you a second, but you've seen this before. You've seen these small little flames before. And it takes you a minute to try to remember. But then it hits you. You remember seeing something like this, very similar, on those cold. You remember the feeling of cold. On those cold nights where you're keeping watch at camp. And you look up and see the stars. And as you're admiring these small flames. No, not small flames. The stars. You look around, you're hearing the footsteps. And you turn around and you see what looks to be a giant humanoid figure in a black torn up cloak. And you see the figure is towering over you. And as you're staring up at this figure, the figure outstretched what looks to be a skeletal hand and snaps his fingers, and you suddenly see a scythe has appeared in his hand. Like a giant scythe. And you see he reels back, and you hear, the first kill, the first death of this universe. And then takes a swing. We go back to the other group. Seth, are you here?
Now I am, yes.
Okay, just making sure. So, we jump back onto the group with Akora and Otis, who are being led and down, led to the wall on the lab. And you'll see Rasa has pressed a button on the side, and the wall becomes transparent. And on the other side of the wall, you see what looks to be Akora. You instantly recognize. Otis, it takes you a second, but you also recognize the familiar round purple orb that seems to have purple smoke inside of it billowing out. And you see it seems to be floating in this empty white rectangular room. And you see it seems to be floating, and there's a crack on it. And it's spewing what looks to be black tar onto the ground. As you follow where it's spewing the black tar seems to shift and go over towards a corner of the room that seems to be growing the black tar in this corner. And it takes you a second, but as you're staring in the corner, you suddenly see it move and shift. And then you see something comes out of the black tar. It looks to be the back of a humanoid. And you're seeing long black tar-like hair that seems to reach down and connect with the black tar on the ground. Pale skin. And it looks to be... some of the skin looks to be insect carapace on their arm. You're seeing sharp pointed ears, and you see the back of this figure. This figure doesn't appear to be wearing any clothes, and seems to be sitting down, cross-legged, and you're only seeing the back of this creature, and you see it's begin rocking back and forth, back and forth. And as you're looking over and you're trying to study this creature, you hear Rasa goes, "So, do you know what this item is?"
Mm.
No,
Does
it's an
this?
orb.
Oh, sorry.
The dragon item.
Well, obviously. But do you know... Have you seen this dragon item before?
Yes.
Do you by chance know its name?
Does Akora know its actual name, or just the name that we called it?
You know.
Abi? What was it?
Mhm.
I would just call it. His name is Abi.
As you call out, you suddenly see the figure in the corner stops rocking. And you see Rasa goes, "Abi." And looks over at the black dragon mask wielder and goes, "Do you know this item?" The dragon spirit Abi. And Otis, you're looking over at the figure in the corner in the room, and you see it's slowly inching its head, like to turn around.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the black dragon mask wielder is just seems to be pondering and goes, "I don't recall any Abi."
Sorry to interrupt. Very quickly, how did you come across this item again?
Oh, I have my ways.
Well, it's no need to be lucrative in this moment because the last that we saw it, the creator itself of the item was taking it back. So I think you've got some explaining to
Thank
do
you,
as
Lori.
far as.
I think we already went over that the first time, and he didn't want to elaborate.
Well,
Or will you elaborate now, Mr. Mask?
Ooh, Mr. Mask. How boring. But I'll own up to it to make things simple. Let's see. Elaboration? No. I am my ways, and I don't think I should tell you where I got this item. So.
You obviously got it from you know who, so.
Oh, please. The next time I see the creator, I plan to kill him.
I don't think you'd be able to.
Not in the funnest way. But, well. Let's just say I have my own ways to take care of him. But it needs time.
Oh, what's your plan then? I mean, what do you gain from having Abby here? Can't you see that it's going through quite a bit?
Well, truth be told, I can't commune with Abby. A dragon item that's now bounded to a wielder. Usually I can commune with them quite easily. But with Abby, it's different. And I'm just very curious on why. I don't have the resources to properly torture it. I mean, experiment on it to see what makes it click. And you see Rasta just gives Mr. Mask a glare. And you see Mr. Mask just goes, "What? I'm not wrong on what what y'all are doing to it. You don't."
Sorry, what was it behind like a glass or something?
Yes, like
Or are we?
it was a wall that got turned into a transparent glass.
I'm just gonna put my hand up against the glass and just look at him. Look at it. Has it taken that form before in front of us?
I'll say make me a perception check. Okay. You're trying to observe the form. It seems familiar, but you can't quite place it.
I'm not gonna pay attention to whatever else the rest are saying. I'm just gonna be like quietly talk to him, like, you really do miss her, don't you? We all do.
And cutting to Akora. I know, and I'm like sort of whispering, but enough for like. There's no way to like cover it up, but like, I'm not like fully privy to all of the information, but didn't their relationship wasn't the best, was it? Why? I mean, to end the way that it ended.
No, but from what I can remember, they were bound by more than body and blood. They were a part of her, and she was of them. It's a very strange bond, especially with how many of them there are.
You see Rasa and Mr. Mass look over, and Rasa goes, "Two questions. First off, what do you mean, as many as there are? Are there more dragon spirits in there?"
As far as I remember, Abi is not just a single one. There were many.
Fascinating. And number two,
There was one in particular we called Steve.
Steve. All right. My second question is, what was your friend's name that wielded the orb?
Laurie.
And you see she reaches over and seems to press another button that's in the wall. And suddenly you hear the humanoid figure that's in the room that y'all can see into. You hear the figure just screaming out, Laurie, 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 where are you, Laurie? Laurie, Laurie, I don't see you, Laurie, 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 please, Laurie, I can't feel you, Laurie, where are you? You weren't supposed to leave me. You weren't supposed to deny me. You weren't supposed to abandon me. You promised not to abandon me. You promised to always be there for me. I didn't. I took a part. I took a part of you. I took a part of you. You weren't supposed to leave me. You weren't supposed to leave me. No, no. And then you hear it seems to combine into a 4-layer voice. The 3 voices you recognize as it was originally a 3-layer voice, but you hear Laurie's voices in there as well. And begin to go, I lost myself. I can't find myself. Where is my body? I can't find my proper body. And you see, as you're looking at this humanoid figure who has their back turned to you, you see suddenly their head turns all the way around and looks at y'all. And you see the figure has a spitting image of Laurie's face. And immediately lunges at the wall and smacks against the wall. And you're seeing Laurie has her face pressed up against the wall and seems to just be staring at everyone. You're seeing 4 sets of yellow eyes are looking at everyone. You're seeing from her neck down, it seems to be covered in what looks to be a centipede-like body that seems to be contracted right now, but then extends out to about 8 feet in length. You're seeing her their arms is starting to violently shift between what looks to be a wolf's arm and violently shifts into mandibles. And you see the figure then retracts its body back to be the size of Laurie and goes, I remember you were supposed to be my friend. You were supposed to save me. You were supposed to protect me. Why didn't you protect me? Why didn't you protect me? And all 4 sets of eyes lock on Akora and goes, you were supposed to be the shield. You were supposed to keep us defended. You were supposed to keep them distracted. But I died. Then everything went dark. Dark. I can't. You cut me off. You were the one that separated me from her. You were the one. And you see she reels back and punches against the glass. And you see the
Or does not flinch.
you see the window begins vibrating, and you see Rasa just raises her eyebrow and goes, if it needs to be said, don't worry. The window will not break. At that time, you hear, and you see Rasa looks back at the window, and you see Laurie is like pounding against the window, and cracks are beginning to form. And you see Rasa goes, oh. I'm just gonna... And you see, she presses the same button she pressed before, and then it goes silent. And you can't hear the figure speaking anymore. But you still see it pounding against the wall, like the window. And then you see, Rasa goes, well... I'm gonna just press this button, and you see...
I'm just gonna put my hand up on the glass and just stare at her.
As you're putting your hand against the glass and stare at her, you see y'all take notice of Rasa pressing another button, and suddenly the whole room lights up with lightning that shoots all around in the inside of the room. And you don't hear the creature, but you can feel the creature retract and lets out this... seem to be letting out a painful wail as her body extends out to the full 8 feet in length body of a centipede. And then you see it quickly scurries back into the corner and begins going into a fetal position. And you see Rasa presses the button again, and the lightning stops. And you see the figure just rocking back and forth in the corner with all the tar. And you see Rasa goes, "That was interesting. That was the most movement that I have ever seen this creature make. Akora, I think we need to go over again what happened at that temple."
Would gladly do so. And so long as this one can hear us. The temple of that god I mentioned before.
You want these waffles? Yeah.
You see, Rasa just nods her head and goes,
Oh, sorry.
"No worries."
At the temple, we had to do battle with him, and as he was slain, something happened. No, before that. Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the things that happened. It's been a hot minute.
Mm-hmm. I understand. It's
The
been a
god
hot
himself
moment
had.
since we all started crying. I understand.
Did we take Abi away from her before or after?
Before.
Okay. So, Abi had taken control. I believe he took control. That they took control over our friend Laurie. I don't remember exactly what. Seth doesn't remember exactly how it went down, but something happened like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a trial room.
Trial room, then Abi went insane or something. But we had to separate. So sorry for the background noise. I can't stop it.
You will.
But after they were separated, the creator took the orb away. But we did it to spare our friend because it seemed like they were killing her. And after she died in combat to the god, he stole her soul. I think did he take her body too?
No, she didn't. He didn't take her body. Her body was taken. Y'all were originally taking.
By the elves.
Yeah, y'all were originally taking the body, but Finwind's husband and the green clothes, they took the body and left.
Okay.
Absolute idiot of a man.
I have
Marriage.
no idea where her body is, but
If I may know where her soul is.
You
I feel like
know where her soul is?
do.
Possibly. I had a dream or revelation of some sort. I kind of saw her soul bottled up by the deity. Or at least I think so. It's hard to be certain with dreams and such. There's no concrete evidence and such, but
It would make sense if you did.
I can see why there's a struggle, because if Abby took Laurie's arm when it was chopped off, and then Laurie's body was also separated, and her soul was separated, I mean, like, just speaking, there's a lot of moving parts here.
I'm gonna just look back at Abi in the corner. I'm just like, we really messed him up. I did.
No, Akora, that was not you. I think it had to be done.
But I think the reason why they behaved in such a way is because I'm the one that cut off their bonded arm and separated them effectively.
I think we should tell Abby what happened next.
You seem to have a better memory than I do.
You see Mr. Mask, who has been staring at Abby this entire time. You see he holds out his hand and places on the glass window and just kind of look down and shake his head. And you hear him go, "The bond between a dragon spirit and their wielder is very strong, very powerful. The bond can be severed, and usually it's only if both parties were in agreement. From the sound of it, only one was in agreement. The other one didn't want to let go. You forcibly separating the bond, chopping off her arm, as you say, that messes with the spirit itself. It messes with their essence. When a spirit bonds, it gives a part of themselves to their wielder. Separating the spirit's life force can damage it. I don't know what the spirit's mental state was before, but because of your actions, or their actions, they've gone more insane. This is why I plan to kill the creator. He is trying to play God with souls. He doesn't deserve that power. None of us do.
I'm sorry, Abby. I never meant for this to happen. I wish I could have helped them both.
You see, Mr. Mass just straightens up and goes. Looks over at you, Akora. And you see him looks at you and outstretches his hand towards you, like for a shake, and goes, I am very protective of the dragon item wielders, and very protective, in particular, the spirits that lie within. I want all of them to be free. I want all of them to be released into their proper final rest. I want to help every single one that I can. That's why I want to kill the creator. That's why I want to condemn him to the pits of hell that he deserves to be in. I have other dragon item wielders at my command. So, if this wannabe god takes a soul of a dragon wielder, or a former dragon wielder, if it's harming a spirit like Abby, I want to help.
Just gonna still look at Abby, but I'm gonna take his hand firmly. We need all the help we can get.
If a god is able, if this deity is strong enough to take souls, I agree. What were you guys called? What's your group or your whatever you are called?
The Hands of Unity. Ironically enough.
to let it be known to you two, and Rasa being the witness. The Black Dragon. The Black Dragon Balathul and his wielder will support the Hands of Unity. You will have my voice. You will have my roar. You will have my fire, my acid, and my strength. I will talk to the other wielders that I know of and get their support as well.
A far more noble cause than I originally expected. I apologize for assuming such.
Oh, don't get me wrong. While I'm trying to kill the creator, it's not an easy thing. I still need resources. So, I'm not gonna act like that. I have done noble things. I have done many despicable things in my time. Having Balathul with me. I'll own up to that. When I kill the creator and free Balathul from this mask, I plan to take my own life. Condemn my own soul to the 9 hells. That's my goal. But the path to freedom is usually soaked in blood.
Freedom is never free. But it's always worth it in the end.
We have to make it worth it, though.
Yes.
So, Valerian, no. Akora. Valerian Akora. You will all have my support. Now, with your permission, oh, mighty Rasa. You see, he gives a very, very mockingly bow towards her. and goes, I will take my departure. I need to go take care of business, as you oh so graciously heard. And Rasa, I will say this. I am very biased when it comes to my dragon spirit brethren. So, I will ask this as a personal favor from me. Hear them out. If anything, give them at least minimal support as you can give towards them to help. Because, I mean, they're fighting a fucking god. So, I know your history with gods. I mean, 2 birds, 1 stone, right? And you see Rasa just, her eyebrow like twitches a little bit and goes, quite. Mr. Mask, get out of here. And please, don't come back unless I invite you here. And you see Mr. Mask just steps back and goes, oh, Rasa, where's the fun in that? You know I'm lovable. And you see Rasa goes, as lovable as a goddamn cockroach. And you see Mr. Mask goes, oh, you do care. Aww. Bye.
I love their good dynamic.
Bye, Rasa. Until next time. Who knows? I might bring you another dragon item that I might stumble upon. Goodbye. And Valerian, give my regards to Aradu.
I just nod.
You see, turns around and with a flick of his cloak, you see he casts out a spell, and in one instant moment of turning blue, his whole body turns a vibrant blue before disappearing. And you see Rasa just looks looks at where he teleports and just shakes her head and goes, "Fucking hate him." Well,
Such a
you got the support of that insane man, so do with that as you will. Thank you for clearing up some of the issues that we've been having with Abby. We're gonna run some more tests on Abby and see if we can get anything useful. But the only thing I can think of to fix Abby is return, or at least present, Laurie to Abby. Do you still have the body, or no?
I do. No, we do not. Wait, did
It
we
was-
see it get? Did we see it get taken away or no?
No, y'all were all asleep that night. Y'all woke
Hmm.
up and the body was gone.
Were the cloaks gone with us at that time?
Yeah, the cloak, like Finland's husband, disappeared as well.
So it could have just been assumed that he took it.
Yep.
We would assume that she was taken back to the Feywild.
You see, Rasa goes, the Feywild. Crap.
Which is also presumably where this deity is kind of residing.
Oh shit, that's right.
So we have to, storm a castle and rescue a princess?
Potentially fight a Grand Fey.
Oh.
Archfey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goody.
Whose body the deity is the whole stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all don't bring up light issues.
I wish we could. But then we wouldn't be here.
Very fair. Look, there's much to be discussed on what form of support I can properly give out. So let's try to fix your pet friend. Let's try to fix your friend, and then we can move on from there. Agreed?
I'll agree. Yes, Your Highness.
And you see Rasa presses one of the buttons on the side, and the transparent wall turns solid. And you see Rasa goes, "Let's go check on Gamori and Romeo and see how they're doing." And
Do you know what has happened with Maze? Our Shadar Kai friend.
yes, I've heard about that. Let me check. And you see, she reaches into one of her sleeves and pulls out what looks to be. It looks like the shape of a brick, and like very thick and very bulky. But you
It's
see,
an Nokia.
you see, she looks at it and holds out one of her hands, and a magic circle appears on her hands, and she places it on what looks the brick looking object, and you see a screen suddenly appears above it, like floating above the brick, and you see text is starting to form, like script is starting to form on the screen as it goes down, and you see she holds out one of her fingers, and her finger is glowing a light blue, like on the edge of her finger, and she seems to be moving her finger from bottom to top, and just seems to be scrolling, and it just goes, okay, Shadar Kai. Ah, yes, the Shadar Kai, the one who strangely seems to be the most normal out of the three of y'all. Just seems to be passed out.
Oh,
Well,
am I
she's
not normal?
I don't consider any humans normal. Please take all the offense. Anyways, let's see. The Shadarkai, perfectly healthy, no signs of injury, appears to be in a coma. Magically induced coma, though. The gauntlet she's wearing seems to be burning hot. Caught the bed on fire. Caught the room on fire. Well, y'all are a very destructive group.
Sounds like it.
She caught the room on fire.
According to the report,
She'll be fine. I don't think Egress would kill her that fast. If at all.
But what if it's not Eagers?
He's the only fiery bastard that she's got with her. If you have seen the amount of times him being angry has caused her to cast Fireball.
Well,
Or
what I'm saying
worse.
is, Maze was also affected by that mask, so I'm wondering if they may be afflicted with any sort of manner of things.
Like Valerian and myself. And Egress's temper is quite bad. So it could make sense if his emotions were running rampant.
Oh. A new report just came in. The Shadarkai suddenly jolted up in a perfect 90-degree angle. Started mumbling something incoherent. Upon further study, appears to be speaking in a language that no one can understand.
Oh.
That just sounds like me when I have a bad dream.
That is a very... Minus the 90-degree angle, which I need to figure out what exactly that means. A language that no one understands shouldn't happen because we got special earpieces that cast comprehend language whenever we tap it. So we should be able to understand the language.
So maybe, like I said, it's connected to that mask again?
Might be.
The Shadarkai remained in this position for an hour. Perfectly still, perfectly in a 90-degree angle. Like, again, what the fuck do you mean 90-degree? Whatever. Perfectly still, perfectly in a 90-degree angle, still speaking in this unknown language. Oh. Screamed very, very loudly, shattered a nearby window with her voice, and caught the room on fire again.
First couple parts are new. The fire is to be expected at this point.
After putting out the fire, the figure was found laying comfortably in her bed. Comfortably? The fuck? I need to talk to the people who are writing these reports. So, your friend... We're gonna table that discussion for later. Let's go take care of the other one first. Meanwhile, a few moments earlier, back in the room, Romeo, you're sitting there in a chair that was provided for you, and you have your sword out, and you're just anxiously waiting, just keeping an eye on Komori as they're sleeping soundly on the bed. And you're just anxious, nervous after everything that happened, after everything that's going on. And didn't help with Mr. Mask comment as he left the room. And you just kind of sitting there, anxious and looking at the guards, then look back at Komori, look back at your sword, and you're trying to mentally prepare on what could possibly happen. Komori, your eyes shoot open and you are awake.
They're just gonna jolt up in the bed and like survey the room.
Good. As you jolt up from the bed, you're looking around and you see you're in a white, fairly empty room, and you're looking around and you find yourself laying in a bed. You see Romeo off to the side, and you see two of those robotic humanoid figures standing by the door. Romeo, I'll say you do take notice that Komori has jolted out of the bed.
Good morning.
Gloria is gonna turn and stare at Romeo. Do they notice the sword in Romeo's hand?
Romeo, were you trying to hide it? Or
No.
not yet? You see it.
Yeah, they're just gonna stare at Romeo, very, very tense.
So the others are looking at some orb that the queen has that they know about or something. But they will be back soon, and we are going to find a way to get that mask off you.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely stumped for what Komori would do. Yeah, no, they're just gonna continue to sit and stare, cutting their eyes over at the guards every once in a while. But just silent and tense.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit there, very uncomfortable.
As you'll sit there, uncomfortable silence. A minute pass. Y'all still just sit there?
I'm still just sitting there.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Don't know what to do.
Yeah, no.
No.
Komori's just like, I don't trust anybody in this room right now.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do here?
No, that's fine.
Romeo is just waiting for like the god of murder or Arjul to take over and attack everyone. She's just kind of sitting there holding her sword, just looking at Komori. But every time Komori looks at her, she looks away so they don't make eye contact.
I'm just gonna at some point gonna stop looking away and just continue to just dead eye stare at Romeo.
I'm gonna look down.
As this tense, awkward, uncomfortable silence filled throughout the air, and you're just sitting there, Komori having a deadpan stare at Romeo. Romeo, you're not making eye contact at all. Just, this is a nice floor, very clean. This is a nice chair. You're just doing everything you can not to make eye contact. More minutes pass by, and then the door opens with Rasa entering and looking around and goes, "Oh, goody. They haven't fought. And
Waving very excitedly to Komori.
Otis and Nakora, y'all enter behind Rasa, and Rasa closes the door behind her and stands by on the door. And you see she looks at you, Otis and Nakora, and goes, "Well, explain to her that I'm just gonna try to help. I don't think she'll take it seriously from me. By all means."
Yeah, no, Komori has like backed into the corner of the bed at this point.
No,
Just
Komori, it's
like-
okay.
What the
She's
fuck?
she's offering to assist us and help get that thing off your face. So it'll make you hopefully feel better. I'm just gonna like motion for Otis to also chime in. Look, I'm stupid, okay? Shut up.
Yeah, I
Don't
think
fucking laugh, Sam.
as Akora is talking, I'm just gonna like be approaching Komori on the bed. Dog with me as well. We're just gonna be approaching. Again, just a big like concerned expression, like very heartfelt, but like kind of like hands in the air, but like Komori, how are you feeling?
Dot dot dot.
Yeah. They don't look okay. They seem terrified about something. And they're not trying to hide it.
Wrong.
Hey, Komori. I'm gonna like hold out my hand. We're not gonna hurt you. I promise. I won't let them hurt you. Not again. You've gone through enough.
Mori sits there for a good moment. Pretty much all of their attention on Otis. Before... I wouldn't say they necessarily relax, but they untense very slightly and take Otis's hand.
Very gentle squeeze. I imagine what you're going through right now must make you feel a lot of things. We're in a new place. You've had some changes and alterations to yourself, to your physiology, your mental state. But it's not always going to be like this, Komori. I think... No, I know that we can find a way to help you. If you're willing. And... if you're willing. But you have to give some trust over, and I know that that's also a hard thing to do when it feels like you're alone. But you're not alone. I know that you haven't known me for long, but I think you're an amazing person, and I think you've got so much story to tell. I just, I want to be there for you when you decide to tell it, and if you allow me to be anyway, um, and if it helps, I'll be here the whole time. I'm not gonna leave your side. And dog too, that is.
Rory takes a breath and nods, kind of unscrunching themselves from the corner. Still holding Otis's hand, but not really making any moves to do anything else.
Mm. I have an idea. Would you maybe we can try it if you'd like. You can kind of show me what you're feeling, and I'll like take out my painter supplies and kind of like offer that. Um, this way you don't have to talk. And
And Rory's gonna take the painter supplies.
Okay. Come on, you take the painting supplies, and you begin setting up like how Otis showed you on the one night y'all spent together, and began absentmindedly begin painting. As you're painting, you're focusing in on it, and seem to get lost in the motion and the focus. And Rasa leans, pushes herself off against the door, and walks over to Akora, and kind of standing next to Akora, leans over and goes, "Do you think she can eat? Like, can she swallow something?"
I have seen her eat, so possibly.
Okay. Then, for this process, fuck it, I'll just tell her. Gamori, I need to be upfront and clear about the help that I am going to give you. I want to get that mask off of you. And do my best, since it belongs to a god that we're trying to get rid of, do my best to find a way to destroy the mask. Hopefully I can just hit it with the mallet. But in order to do that, we need to, I guess you can say, settle your body. So, I am, according to my own laws that I put in place in my kingdom, I am legally obligated to tell you that the help I am going to give you is experimental at best, meaning this could potentially, this will most likely fix you and revert you back to your normal form. Or this could potentially cause some minor side effects. So legally, I need your consent and permission to give you this experimental help.
You think you could test it on me first? Or do you want to risk it with her?
If you want, we have done many tests with it. Thanks to Mr. Mask's help.
What?
And
That's just the name you stuck with.
it's easier than saying his full name that I originally gave him. We can, with his help, we come to the conclusion that there's still some kinks we need to work out because it's different with everybody. Because everybody has a different biology that we are still taking into account. So we can't test it on you just to see if it fully works. But it's not 100% guaranteed that if it works on you, it'll work on her.
Then maybe she'll trust you more if I do it first.
If that's what y'all want to do. Komori?
I'll do it with you. So you won't be alone in doing
I like how we're doing this. Like Komori is just a child. that is
Not
I'm
really.
scared she's gonna blow.
Not really a child. Just more of a trauma person that the group of friends are trying to therapeutically
No,
be there for her.
No,
exactly.
This is a
No,
child
this is the
that's
vibe we're going for. This is a traumatized adult that has no clue who to trust anymore. Anyway,
Anyways.
That's fair.
Komori's going to glare at Rasa, look at Akora, look at Otis, look back at Akora, nod, and glare at Rasa. And then go back to typing.
You see Rasa just nods her head and goes, okay, fair. I'll allow the glaring. Now I'll own up to it. You weren't in your right state of mind, so I can't forget the transgression. It's in the past. Let's move on. All right.
Really interesting.
You see, she turns around and points out one of the Warforge. Go and get experiment 4-A-1113, please. No, 114. That's what it was. And you see the Warforge, who was perfectly still, immediately jolts up and nods his head and begins walking away. And
Sleep mode.
not in sleep mode, maybe. But immediately walks away, and Rasa and just nods her head and goes, okay, so what the help is, it's going to be these little tiny tablets, or pills as we call them. They're about this small. And what I want is for y'all to take 2 of these. Take 2 of these. Make sure you swallow them properly. And the effect should kick in. It's a mixture of medicine and magical properties. So we're going to hope that it works. So just bear with us. And as soon as the Warforged left, the Warforged came back and seemed to be holding a small clear jar. Not too big, but you see it's filled with almost looks to be like 30 of these small pills. And you see Rasa takes it and opens up the jar and makes sure to count 4 pills and holds out her hand to the both of you, to Komori and Korra. Remember, 2 each.
Take him.
Komori?
Yeah, Komori will grab him.
Okay.
Still glaring at Rasa.
Akora's gonna pop him first.
Okay. Komori, you pop the 2 pills into your mouth and you swallow them. They have a weird herbal taste to them. Like, it takes you back to back home when you get injured and one of the healers give you some herbal medicine that you have to drink. Tastes a lot like that.
This tastes like those. It's like those tinctures my grandma had to make.
And as you're swallowing them, Gamari, are you taking them as well, or are you just watching a card to see what happens?
Would Kamori even know how to take them?
Well, I'm assuming so, since you just watch Akora take them.
I want to get a lot of
Cool.
spit in
Just
your
gonna
mouth.
put them
before
in
you
her
pop
mouth,
them down.
chew them, and then swallow.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh honey.
They don't know how pills work.
You put them.
They were in a forest.
You put them in your
I
mouth.
don't know what you expect.
You
What is
chew
this
on them,
medication?
and
Worst taste.
worst off, Rasa can't see your mouth, like your jaw move properly, so she doesn't see you chewing on them for a moment and swallowing. But as soon as you chew them, they taste like some of the plants that you tried sampling way back when you first appeared in the forest. It has a weird bitter taste, and you almost gag it out, but you swallow it, and as the pill goes in, and you see Rasa nods and goes, "Okay, good, good. Tell me, human, do you believe in any gods?"
Oh, that's ominous.
Oh no!
Me?
Yes.
Uh, uh, uh,
She says that
Good.
towards the medium
Good.
thing.
Good. The gods are bullshit, and they do not care what happens. I recommend we all take a step back. I need Komori and Cora to roll me some D100s for me, please.
Oh
fuck.
no!
No!
Wow!
How did I roll a 1 on that?
Did you?
How did I roll a 1 on a D100?
Did you? Did that really just happen?
Wow!
Please be gentle.
Oh no! Oh,
Please be
God.
gentle, Sam. I'm very innocent. Please don't kill me. I don't have a backup
We
character.
both did terrible, huh? Wow, look at that. We both died.
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay. You both
No, look at
take
that.
them, and you
Wanna die?
you begin feeling the medicine go into your body, and then you feel magical energy begins coming from your stomach, and it begins to fill your whole entire body. It's at first it's a very cold sensation. It's like a very, very freezing cold water is going through your veins, and you kind of shiver a bit. Komori, as you shiver a bit, you're taking notice that the chains are wrapped around your arms. You see that they begin cracking and chipping, and soon, one by one, the chain begins breaking and snapping off and seem to dissolve as they fall to the ground. And the dark yellow scales of your draconic arms, the scales begin to shed and fall off, and they also dissolve as they fall to the ground. And both of your arms have returned to normal, and your legs begin to shift back into your normal form, and the mask seems to unfuse itself from you, and seem to return to just being a mask. You have reverted back to your original form. Any of your stats on game have been reduced, but don't worry, we'll take care of that in a moment. So, good morning. You have returned back to normal. Akora!
Intense fear. Intense fear.
Oh no! Oh no!
Same type of sensation. You feel the freezing cold water go through your body, and you shiver. and then you feel warmth, like a very, very soothing warmth go through your body, and you're just, oh, okay, relaxing, okay. And you feel your body seems to lurch to the side, and you just, oh. And you feel yourself starting to dry heave. You just, and you see Rasa goes, kind of grabs Otis by the back of his collar and begins taking another step back. And you see Rasa looks over at Romeo and goes, back up a bit more.
I'm just like
I'm just gonna
pressed
fucking
against the opposite
upchuck
wall as hard as I can.
everything.
Like, as soon as she said
no.
step back, I'm like all the way up.
Akora, as you're just okay, and you feel yourself starting to sweat, and then suddenly your body lurches again, and then you kind of take a step back, and you look over at Rasa, and you see Rasa just go, "This is a new reaction, Otis, human. Please take notes of this so we can document this for later. Keep it going, Akora." Yeah, you begin sneezing, and then your body lurches again. And then it seems to lurch back, and you slam against the wall. And you see Rasa just, Otis, note, very violent tendencies, lurching across the bodies, and some of the scales appear to be shedding off, so that's a good sign. Seems to be dry heaving, could be having a nauseous reaction to the pills. Don't know if it's because of the race or the gender. Side note, more experiments on the different genders. And Akora, as they're taking scientific notes, your body feels like your shoulder seems to be wanting to like leave your body, like your shoulder is trying to exit your body, and you just and slams against the wall again, and your body begins to convulse, and you feel yourself drop down onto your hands and
You
knees.
just give me COVID?
And you suddenly see the shield that's on your back fly off of you and land in front of you. And you're looking at the shield, and you're going, what the? What? And your body continues to jerk back and forward. And all of the scales on your body begins to violently rip itself off of your body. Some blood is trickling down your arms and your chest, and the wound.
One means I'm gonna be in a lot of fucking pain.
The wounds heal, but you do take 20 points of damage against you.
Jesus.
As you keep jerking, and your body seems to be reverting back, you suddenly feel the intense pain start to calm down, and you just you're looking around, and you're waiting for something to happen. I think, and you kind of stand up straight, and he goes, I think. You check your arms and hands, and you see your body has returned to normal. You're checking your
covered in blood.
face, and you're like, I think. You think you're good. And then to everybody's ears, you hear a ow. You look over to the shield that's on the ground, and you see the shield begins to lift on its own, and you see a small draconic tail peeks out, and you see a small orange wormling dragon appears crawling out and just holding his head. Akora, it looks like a baby Valerian.
Oh, gosh!
And you see Valerian just shakes its body and looks at his hands, looks at his wings, looks at his body, and goes, looks at you, Akora. What the fuck? And you see, see Rasa goes, Otis, take side note B. What the fuck? More research is needed.
Mhm.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Gosh.
So rolling a 1 has earned us something really interesting.
Oh
Holy
boy.
shit.
Has
Wow,
earned
I'm
us-
no longer bound with my dragon. But he's a baby!
He's so big.
He's so little.
Yeah,
with the mentality of a fully grown adult dragon.
this is a baby dragon, like a very very small dragon, like smaller than y'all's dragons in the other campaign.
Aw.
Yeah.
Like this
Or
is
this is just like this is like a pseudo dragon size.
pretty much, yeah,
Oh.
like very very small.